Yeah, I think it's a shame that most of the people that are going to see this song that Leo is going to do a metal cover of have never seen the original. And that's kind of a shame. Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Check us out on OldSkuleNerd.com. It's got all the social media posts, the Patreon link for those who want to support the channel. We appreciate every single one of you. And the merchandise store. Now, Leo's at it again. And he takes some of the best songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and current, turns them into metal classics. That's what he does. He's great like that. This time he's doing a song that I'm going to give you a few little drops on. Number one, this song came out the year I was born. Yes, 1974. Yes, I am that old. The number one movie in the world when I was born was Blazing Saddles, which means I was the second most offensive thing that was produced in 1974. Hey. All right. But also at that time, there was a little band that had a huge lead singer frontman. Okay? And the band was called Wings. Now, a lot of people still to this day don't realize that Wings was a band that Paul McCartney was a member of. People think that Paul McCartney put out all these songs. No, he actually had a band called Wings after the Beatles. And it's okay. Now, of course, Wings had one song that to this day is a hit to a lot of people. When they hear it, it's iconic to them and they're like, yeah! And then they go off and say something stupid like, yeah, that was a song from Guns N' Roses. No, you're an idiot. Live and Let Die was a song by Wings, and, and it was done in 1976, the year that James Bond's movie of the same title came out, which is one of my favorite James Bond movies of all time, even though it had Roger Moore as the lead, and I don't care for Roger Moore as much as Sean Connery, but that doesn't matter. The fact that it showcased New Orleans and voodoo and the Caribbean, I was all about it. And it had that classic Live and Let Die feel to it, which was the song. Now, this song, Jet, is not as well known as Live and Let Die, obviously. In fact, most people will have never heard this song before until Leo does this cover, and that's okay. Now you have a reason to go back and listen to the original. And anything that Paul McCartney is singing on is worth listening. So we're going to let Leo get into this. This is Frog Leap Studios. It is Friday. It is Leo Day. So let's enjoy this together. Enjoy me as I try not to talk anymore. I said try. I didn't say I wasn't gonna. Sorry. Frog Leap Studios. The tempo count is the same as the original. Chording is the same as the original. It's just crunched more. Now, I'm sure Leo will change that later.
I can almost remember the funny faces. Last time you told her that you gon' be marrying soon. When I thought the only lonely place was on the moon. Watch your father as bold as a sergeant.
All right, real quick, I do want to point this out. Now, I can't speak to guitars, amps, pedals, bass guitars, stuff like that. That's a Tank the Tech thing. I can talk about drums all day long. But there's one more thing that I can talk about, and it's something that I really enjoy, and that's boards. I have done a lot of sound mixing and sound production, particularly at live shows. Excuse me. Wow. This one here is a Studio 32. Now it's a 32 channel digital board that a certain person, that guy, just bought. He was showing it off on Instagram, and obviously that's why it's on his video, because he wants to show it off. This one is a Pro Source. It's very, very good. An interesting thing about this particular board, it is a 32 channel board, which means it has 32 input channels, 32 sound channels that can be mixed. So technically you could put 32 imports. However, on this particular board, I'm not sure if it's one phase or two select phase, where you can actually add another set of channels. So technically it can be expanded to a 64 channel board through a toggle. Now, the inputs on that are not XLR, those are actually aux inputs if you do the switch over. But that's all in the programming. This board particular, excellent boards. The level of manipulation on a digital sense is great. This is an excellent board for recording, but more importantly, this one is small enough that you can use it either in the studio, or you can actually get a custom box built. It comes in a box from ProSource or whatever company, and it is a field box that can be rolled around just like any other piece of gear. If you're smart, you will actually go on the back left of the board, the case, cut out the case board, put a set of toggles to where you can remove it, to where when you open up the front L portion and flip the case over, you can literally leave all your connectors preset from the studio plugged into the board in the case, to where all you got to do is use a coupler to connect it to the stage snake. So instead of having to recable your board with your snake, you can put your snake in a stage box. Okay, if you don't know what a snake is a bundle of XLR cables or aux cables, depending upon what you're using, or Ethernet cables if you're doing it all digitally, where you can run them from your soundboard all the way up to the stage. Typically, if you go to a smaller venue or a bar or something like that, you will see on the ground of the arena that you're at, if there's not a raised floor, there'll be a kind of a step, and the little angles to where people have to walk over it. The snake's in there. So the sound cabling of the XLR bundle that goes to a box on the stage where you plug in your different channels, if Frog Leap wanted to, when they go out on tour, they could leave all of their XLR and aux connectors connected to the board, put a snake coupler installed behind the case, to where when they get where they're going, all they literally have to do is put the soundboard in its case that it travels in on the soundboard stage or wherever they're at, take the lid off, open the door that you cut into it, plug in your snake coupler to what you already have set in there, run your snake to your stage, and have every plug into the channel that they originally did in the studio, and you're done. I've done it with a few bands before in the past where they want to travel, but they can't take their studio producer with them, or the guy that helped them do their album in the studio, or a guy that helped them set up all their stuff, because they're just a traveling band. So the band themselves had to figure out a way to quickly set up their setup without having to run all the cables and test everything without, right? This way they could literally show up, plug in, and run. And with a board like this, Leo, or whoever's doing his programming, check this out, can literally assign, okay, they're called scenes. It's similar to OBS, how you have a scene. Like for me, if I was to do this, this is my show up whenever I do game streaming, right? Or if I'm doing reactions. This is this right here. These are both called scenes in OBS. They have different setups. They have different specific needs that I have depending upon what I'm doing. On this soundboard that Leo is using today, he can actually program scenes into this board for his mix, his effects, his gains, his rolls of every channel that he has connected to the stage. So let's say he's doing a cover, this cover, let's say he's doing Jet, and then he's doing Toto Africa, and then he's going to do Hello, and then he's going to do Ghostbusters, Power Rangers. You name the song that could possibly be on his set list. He can already have the mix for those individual sounds, the individual sets. It can be set up to where on one song you have, since all of these songs that Leo is doing covers of are of bands with uniquely different sounds, he could literally have the source codes set up as particular scenes in the digital matrix to where all he has to do is literally, and I'm not joking, press a button and you've seen the videos where those slides go up and down on a board automatically. This one will do that. He hits a scene, it automatically presets to Hello. Automatically presets to this song, Jet. Automatically presets to Africa. Whatever song he's doing, he could program it into this where he doesn't have to have someone on the soundboard go, okay, well, what was our settings for this song? It's already done. And they can do all of that here in the studio before they pack up and go on tour. To where when they get there, not only do they just plug into what they have automatically, it's already preset, but whoever's doing the sound checks or whoever's doing the production during the show can literally go, Leo's going to go, okay, we're going to sound check Africa. And the guy goes, scene Africa. And the whole board sets itself to that song for Trolls, Leo, Rabia, everybody. So you can imagine why Leo is showcasing this board here. I don't know what he had before. I saw a lot of the stuff he had was pretty good, but this production board allows him to make his covers, and whatever settings he put in his covers, he can save then as cover, record, scene. Leave it like that. Bring it back in when Rabia and Trolls and all those guys come in. And then they put rehearsal, Africa, and it brings up the original one he had for Africa, and then they make minor adjustments for the different people. Save that, go into sound check, bring up that one from rehearsal, make any adjustments they need to have from the venue that they're at. Save that one literally, Africa, this location, production. So when they go live on stage, they just hit a button and it's exactly what Leo wants it to be. From that tiny little board. That board is 30 inches long and it weighs about 25 pounds. And it could be mobily moved anywhere. Yes, I've talked 10 minutes about his new board because the reason why Leo is showing this off, this is a game changer for him. Not only for recording, mixing, post-edit work, and also on tour. This allows him to give the studio quality sound that he wants with the push of a button. It is a game changer for him, so congratulations, sir. That's a damn good board. Let's get back to the song. Lost that wig, Bubba.
Wow, Major. Wanted to always love me. Wow, Major.
One of my favorite things that Leo does, great stopping point for him, by the way, is that he always mimics the artist based upon the video of the original. If you go back and watch anything that Paul McCartney does, he does have a tendency to flip his hand like this when he plays to give him kind of that feel. He also has a tendency to snap his hands when he's just singing and not playing, because Paul McCartney has this thing with his hand. I don't know if you've ever seen him. If you ever see Paul McCartney where he's singing and he is not playing a guitar or a bass or any instrument whatsoever, he has problems keeping his hands still because he's just used to keeping that motion. He's just so used to it. I love the way that Leo does show when he's just singing, he's popping his hand like Paul McCartney did when he was throughout his career. It's the little things that Leo does, which I love.
Wanted to always love me. Wow, Major. Much later. Dread, ring the wind in your ear of 1,000 laces. Climb on the back and we'll go for a ride in the sky. We just, I thought that the Major was a little later. Suffer again. When dead, I thought that the Major was a little later. Suffer again. Well, later. Well, later.
That's pretty cool. Now that Studio 32 board that he's looking at is a PreSonus. One of my favorite things about that PreSonus board, and I'm sure Leo has figured this out by now. Did you notice that when he was playing the drums, he had an iPad next to his leg right there playing drums? Let's see if I can find it. There was a picture of him playing drums. Okay, see this iPad right here? This is interesting. He can sit right here at the drum set, pick up his iPad, and with a simple app from PreSonus, which is the maker of the board, he can pull up the entire interface and mixing chart digitally, touchscreen on his iPad. So from his iPad or from where he's at, he could literally have it on a mic stand, on a rack right there in front of him, on stage. He can make adjustments to the mix, to the sound, volume, everything. Profiles. Literally, Leo can preset everything on the PreSonus board, that 32 board, into his scenes like I told you before. Take that iPad, right, and flip over scene Africa. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun. He could literally do it himself. Now, is that smart? Probably not. It's probably not smart to do that when you need a person in the crowd to get what the PA is sounding like, because from the stage it does sound different than on the PA, and you want your sound mix to be good for your crowd. But what he can do is he can do a playback and listen to what he just did, go, I don't like that. Let me go to my toms and take some of the highs out, make them a little bit lower. He can do that on that iPad, not have to get up from the drums, go to the board and make the changes. The reason why Leo is so excited about that board is all the things I told you about before, but also this is a huge time saver for him. So whenever he's recording in the studio, Instead of him having to get up, go to the studio, do a listen back, make his adjustments, go sit back down and play it again, he can do all of that and never leave the drum stool. It's a game changer for him, and I'm so happy that he got one. So cheers to you. Awesome cover of Jet. Great song for a cover. And Leo, congratulations on your Personas 32 digital board. It's literally going to make your life 1,000 times easier, and everyone benefits when Leo can do more content and more stuff and save more time. By the way, they run between $3,000 and $4,000 if you want one for your house. You can literally just go buy one right now. They cost a little bit of money. All right, let's check the outro. Let's go. Outro time. No. Outro time. Let's do it. Nice.
Hey buddy, it's the outro again. You didn't expect that one, did you? You can buy my songs online on iTunes and Amazon. I also have a Patreon site where we get all the songs in an instant download. So just one more thing to say, merch, and I'll see you later.
It's good stuff. Well, congratulations to Leo. I know he still has his show in Brixton coming up. I know a lot of his other shows have been pushed. That happens, hopefully. Here in the United States and Canada and other places, COVID's starting to really wind down, especially here in the United States. They're starting to release a lot of the stuff because Omicron's kind of burned through everything. Everyone's gotten it, and they're starting to calm down on all of it. So hopefully that stuff changes for a lot of us. So we're excited. We're hearing about mask mandates and vaccine mandates being lifted in places in just the next 2 months, places where we're going to see concerts. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we'll see how it goes. My name is Old School Nerd. Please check out more of Leo. Again, congratulations, Leo, on your new board. It's a really nice one. I enjoyed working with the one I had before about 3 years ago. I was doing some work with one. It was real good. My name is Old School Nerd, and we'll see you on the next one. Sabaton's coming up, by the way. Yeah, later today. Let's go.